But of YouTube, it's Mizrae's Company. We are back with another DragonHeir Silent God video. I am still very much enjoying this game. It's been out for almost a week now, over a week actually, and I am still playing it literally every day. So, if you haven't seen my other videos on DragonHeir Silent God, this game has so many of the great mechanics that we see in some of our favorite RPG tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons. The dice roll mechanic within the game adds for a certain level of randomness that makes everyone's gaming experience a little bit different, which is really cool. Speaking of being different, there's over 200 different heroes in this game, and there's so many different combinations of teams you can make, and I literally find myself switching out my teams all the time because I keep finding new heroes that I want to play with at all difficulties, which makes it incredibly free-to-play friendly because it doesn't have to be a legendary. Your rare and even epic heroes are so strong in this game, and you can build them up with artifacts and gear to make them just as strong as any legendary. At least in the early to mid game. I'm sure that's a little bit different in the end game, but we got plenty of time before we get to the end game. We're in the preseason, baby. We are in the early game. I also want to mention that DragonHeir Silent Gods is out right now. Click on the link in the description right now in order to download it as well as to play with me, because I would love to play with you. But keep in mind, this game is not just a mobile game. It is out on Windows, Mac, the Epic Store launcher, as well as Android and iOS devices. All 5 different ways you can play the game, which is giving you so much flexibility to play this awesome game. Now, don't forget, guys, DragonHeir Silent Gods is actually the second blockbuster game that has been released by Nuverse, the first being Marvel Snap, which is also a game that I think is tremendous and play it quite frequently, especially when I'm on the toilet, because that's honestly where I have the most free time without my kids, but that's a story for a different time. There's so many mechanics in this game, and I do want to go ahead and give you guys some massive tips that will help upgrade your game right now if you do them as soon as possible. But before we get to that, thanks to DragonHeir Silent Gods for sponsoring today's video. For those of you that are new to my channel or new to the game, DragonHeir Silent Gods is an open world with a Western fantasy theme and a lot of D&D like tabletop RPG game mechanics. You will experience battles with explosive combos, dice rolls, and NPC controls in the game. And who doesn't like a good NPC? Okay, so the tip and trick for the day is going to be all about experience. Experience is going to be one of those things that you're going to need all the time. This is my current build. I am running a completely frost and necrotic build. As you can see, I got all my best gear and artifacts on. I'm using literally 4 epic artifacts in 1 rare. Which is pretty crazy to have this early in the game. As you can see, I can't even upgrade to the 4-star yet because I have to unlock journey level 23, which is sort of time gated by how early the game is out. So I've covered that in a different video, but in this video, I'm just kind of showcasing it. I'm currently at max, which is 16. So there's still a good amount of way to go before anyone gets to unlock journey level 23. So what does that mean, and what does that have to do with today's video? Basically, it means the max level you can get on any character in the game right now is level 70. So what that means is you need to be rushing as much experience as you can to gain experience in the game in order to get 1 hero. That's right, just 1 hero to level 70 and then slowly catch everyone else up. The reason being is that if you were to do that, if you go over to the arena, all of your heroes match whatever your highest hero is in terms of level and everything else. So if I go to the Grand Gladiator Arena, and you can see my build right here. So everyone is level 70 from everyone that I've been fighting. And everyone, if I were to challenge it, oh, I don't have any left, but where's my lineup? Right here. So all of my different heroes are level 70, even though you just saw that only one of them is level 70. So by doing this, you can really min-max your experience and rewards in the arena before we even get to later on in the game. So that's how I'm actually able to be at, my current rank is, what is this one? Copper Wolf Fighter 1. And as you can see, you can progress. Now, this is a defense and offense style game mode, so you're going to want to keep up with it, but getting to max level, being level 70 right now, and having all the best gear on your 5 heroes will net you the most highest chance of being efficient at getting as high as you can as fast as possible, because it's very much going to be one of those games where people are going to attack you all the time even when you're not playing. So in the early game, it can give you so much of a head start if you get ahead in the ranks where not everyone is in the masses. So basically, because the game is brand new, most of the people are going to be in Stone Goat Fighter. So I want to get as far away from that as I can, so that way I'm at the highest point, which is probably right now Copper Wolf Fighter. I think there's only 1 person as of the time of this recording at Silver Lion Champion. So my goal is to get there as soon as I can, so that way I am away from the masses that are going to be attacking on a daily basis. Because once you get to a certain level, only those people in that level or rank can attack you. So keep that in mind. It's a huge tip. Now, how do you get the experience, you might ask? That's a great question. I'm so glad that you asked it. And that's where we're going to go to our journal over here, our adventure journal. We're going to go to the dungeons and we're going to go to the goblin lair. Now, keep in mind, it is very, very hard to complete all the different layers of the dungeon lair or the goblin lair within the dungeon. You're going to want to hit rank 5 as fast as possible. And in doing so, you have to complete all the previous ones by getting all 3 stars, which means you have to complete it with more than 50 seconds left over. Now, how are you going to do that, you might ask? The biggest tip I can give you is food. Food, a tank, and AoE. Now, if you play this game for 3 days already, there is a guaranteed tank champion that you receive on the 3rd day as part of a free gift reward that the game gives you. And that's going to be none other than one of the best tanks that I actually have ever seen, and that's Horus. Horus has some very, very strong skills, such as when taking damage, the hero has a 50% chance of obtaining a shield. That's what could not be better for a passive skill for a tank champion than a 50% chance every time they get attacked to get a shield for 5 seconds. That's perfect. The next one is going to be able to do a little bit of damage, as well as a little bit of CC or crowd control by debuffing the enemy. So what it does is deals fire damage to the enemy. It does 360 defense based off the defense you have on this character. So you do want to stack defense, fire damage. If you didn't know how to do that, you click on the details and it tells you the type of damage you're going to do. So instead of stacking attack on this character, you want to stack defense. And it does fire damage to the enemy with a 75% chance of inflicting attack penalty 2, which is reducing attack by 50%. Now, as a tank, you're going to be getting probably attacked the most. So by putting that 50% reduced attack for 5 seconds on an opponent, that's less damage that you're taking as a tank, which makes a lot of sense. Now, for his ultimate, that's where it stops attacking and unleashes a battle cry forward with a 100% chance of taunting enemies within range for 5 seconds and dealing 600% in defense fire damage, gains damage reduction for 5 seconds, and hit recovery for 5 seconds as well. Damage reduction takes 30% less damage. Taunt forces all enemies to launch basic attacks on the spellcaster, which is going to be my tank right now. And then hit recovery restores HP whenever being attacked. And keep in mind, every time you get attacked, you have a 50% chance of gaining a shield. So you're going to heal yourself and gain a shield potentially every single time, which is why you can see this guy is just a phenomenal tank. And then outside of having a tank, I want you to just have a bunch of AoE heroes to just clear the mobs as fast as you can. That's what's going to help you clear the goblin lair, goblin dungeon as fast as possible. But you're probably like, oh my gosh, you have legendary, epic, and even rare heroes. Who should I pick? There's one hero in particular that could do this with her eyes closed. And she's a rare. She's not even an epic. She's down here in the lightning. I want to say no, I'm not on lightning yet. Where is she? I just got her. Yes. Irina. So Irina is a rare support, right? Doesn't even look like an attacker. But why is she so good? Because her passive, when the hero deals damage to enemies with skills, grant a 10% target max HP shield to the nearest ally for 10 seconds. So she is supporting us with our passive skill. But everything else is damage and AoE damage at that. So that's going to be, the second one is her battle skill, which is unleashing chain lightning, dealing 360% attack lightning damage to enemies that are hit. Chain lightning can bounce among enemies up to 3 times. Wow. Initial recharge time, 5 seconds. And then complete recharge time, 10 seconds. So she's going to get this 5 seconds in the battle, and then every 10 seconds after that. That's very, very fast, in case you're curious. She does have a slower attack interval at 2.5 seconds, but that's fine because she does get her battle skill very, very quickly. And it's AoE. But then there's her ultimate. Oh, and that's right. It also does AoE damage, and a lot of it. This is called Lightning Storm. Deals 710% attack lightning damage to enemies within range with a 75% chance of inflicting attack penalty 1 for 10 seconds, which reduces their attack by 25% and a 75% chance of dispelling 1 buff from them. Now, outside of that, you can actually use your Traveler, your main red character, for some AoE. So this character can be switched between the different elements between fire, lightning, and ice. Both fire and lightning have AoE abilities, and ice is more of a defensive one. So this is 2 characters you're going to get completely free to play that will allow you, well, 3 if you include the tank, that will give you over half of your team, because you can only need a 5-man team to be able to push this. Now you're going to be able to ask, well, hold on, wait a minute. How else, if I have the team, what else can I do to ensure that I push the Goblin Lair? And why do I even care about Goblin Lair 5? Because that's where you get the most experience. You get more of these large XP potions, which is what this is all about. Now, if you still are unable to clear and get 3 stars on the Goblin Lair, you want to go to your camp and start making food. It's time to cook, baby. Let him cook. And because some of these are actually going to be giving you different, like this one heals you. This one gives you attack plus 8%. All heroes gain attack plus 8% for 600 seconds and accuracy plus 10 for 600 seconds. You can see the ingredients are very, very easy. I could make several of these, and 600 seconds is a long time. It's a long time. It's over 5 minutes. It's like 6 minutes, maybe 7. I don't know, but you get the idea. So you can see the ingredients here, combine those two, and then boom, you have another one. Also, while just playing the game, I have accrued so many different feasts that give me all these different buffs. As you can see, I just buy them with gold because gold is relatively easy to find in the game, at least in the early game. And you can see I have legendary gear that gives you massive, both poison damage +5 and attack +10. And then you go down here, you can see all the different elemental ones. And then there's even some generic ones right here, like max HP +10%, attack +5%. So if you are having a hard time living and you need a little bit more HP, you can use one of these. And they're super easy to find all over from different merchants in the game. Now that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoy DragonHeir Silent Gods. I am loving it. I'm so happy to record these videos, and thank you again, DragonHeir Silent Gods, for sponsoring me. It's been absolutely wonderful working with you guys, and I deeply, deeply appreciate this game, and thank you for giving it to us as a community. And I look forward to still playing it even after these sponsored videos, and maybe even working with you guys again in the future. Until next time, everyone, lock it in.